Today, we will tell you about a country that many people don't even know exists and can't point it out on a map. This country is among the seven wealthiest in terms of per capita income and quality of life. Gasoline is cheaper than water here, the government pays utility bills, and loans can be taken at 0%. Sometimes the government even forgives its citizens' debts. This amazing place was subjected to destruction by a neighboring state just a quarter of a century ago. And now skyscrapers are rapidly growing here, and luxury car sales exceed all expectations. For every resident of the country, there is one personal assistant and 1.5 labor migrants. The most valuable currency in the world belongs to Kuwait, one of the richest countries thanks to its colossal oil reserves. There is so much money here that there is simply nothing to spend it on. The territory is slightly larger than the Kaliningrad region, and the population is only 3.5 million people, of which about a million are citizens. It is between them that the oil revenues are distributed. For example, the state gives newlyweds a wedding gift of between $15,000 and $250,000. The salary of a doctor or teacher can reach $15,000. At the same time, locals do not work as ordinary doctors. They only occupy management positions. Land costs pennies. A mortgage for $250,000 can be obtained without interest. And after 5 to 10 years, half of the debt is often written off. Education and medicine are free. If a student decides to study abroad, they will pay for tickets, tuition, and also be given a stipend of $2,000. If a citizen cannot be treated within the country, he is sent abroad for treatment at the state's expense. Child benefit is $200 until the child reaches 26 years of age. A divorced woman receives $1,400 a month until she finds a job. The minimum pension is $3,000. In 2007, the authorities wrote off citizens' debts totaling $1 billion. Sometimes they simply hand out money. In honor of the 50th anniversary of independence, everyone was given $3,500. Last year, those who wanted to were given free food for a whole year. Rice, oil, chicken, etc. A master's degree is worth $700, a doctorate, $1,400. Teachers with a long history are given a bonus equal to a year-and-a-half salary. Men, after 30 years of service, women, after 25. On average, every Kuwaiti gets another 50% of their salary in bonuses. Even foreigners pay almost no taxes here. Companies importing goods pay only 4% duty, but all these preferences are exclusively for citizens. 70% of the population are migrants without rights. It is almost impossible to obtain citizenship. Life here is cheaper than in expensive areas of Qatar or the UAE, and salaries for migrants are higher than there. The cost of living is close to European. The entire oil industry has belonged to the state since 1961, after independence from Great Britain. Not a drop of oil goes past the budget. They extract exactly as much as is needed. The state provides interest-free housing loans, pays for the education of talented students at the best universities in the world, and for treatment abroad. A home loan of up to $1 million is enough for a house with 5 rooms. When oil prices rise, Kuwait forgives debts. That is why locals literally pray for rising oil prices. There is no great history or vibrant culture here. Kuwait resembles a huge shopping mall in the middle of the desert. Rich residents do not worry about anything, and they are serviced by migrant workers. Every foreign company is obliged to hire a certain percentage of locals and pay them good wages. An example from life. One Kuwaiti was hired at a factory for $10,000, but he simply does not go there. He cannot be replaced. The administration calls him at home when a signature is needed, and he answers, "You need it, you come." Upon arrival, a sleepy, fat Kuwaiti comes out, who cannot write and simply gives up. As one expert said, most Kuwaitis are lazy fat cats who were just lucky to be born in the right country. But the laws here are strict. A local man was recently sentenced to 5 years in prison for insulting the Emir of Sabah on Twitter. Criticism of the government is also prohibited by the Constitution. In 2016, 5 people, including relatives of the Emir, were convicted for negative messages on WhatsApp. Alcohol is completely prohibited here. You can be expelled even for trying to import it. but there are no restrictions on women's clothing. Almost every Kuwaiti has a servant. In the markets, you can often see how the owner tells you what fruits to take, and the servant puts everything together and carries it. To understand the level of wealth, just go to a local jewelry store. You won't find any fine jewelry there. Everything is massive gold with diamonds priced from $10,000. Family is the center of life in Kuwait. Relatives often work together and spend a lot of time with each other. Hospitality is part of the culture. Don't be surprised by dinner at 11 p.m. or the tradition of sitting on the floor and eating with your hands. The basic rules of life are simple. Don't drink alcohol, don't take drugs, and don't criticize the government. This is Kuwait, a controversial but in its own way, ideal monarchical paradise in the desert.